awesome. So that was a little choppy start. I'm so excited, Ed. I'm nervous because I feel like I'm interviewing a celebrity.
Oh,
But I want to give you the right intro, and I was trying to memorize it, but my nerves got the best of me. So, welcome to, thank you for the heart me, to Wildcard Wednesday on Coffee Talk, where we press pause on the hustle and hit play on the fun. So, I am Liz, your host, with coffee in hand and a mixtape heart, and today's guest is bringing us straight back to the decade of big hair, bigger beats, and unforgettable jams. I wish I could have memorized that, but without further ado, the one and only, guys. If you're not following him, make sure that you hit that follow, guys. He is awesome. He is 19, and let me get it right now, 1980s live.
1980 something.
Oh, 1980 something live. Okay, okay. I almost got it. Oh my God. But first, even before I get started asking you questions, just tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? I think you live in Arizona, right?
I live in Arizona. I'm
Okay.
from Chicagoland.
Okay.
Yeah. South Side, little suburb called Calumet City. Actually, home of the Blues Brothers. That's where they're from. Uh, but I've lived out in Arizona most of my life.
Okay.
Been a lot of back and forth.
You still
Uh,
have family in Chicago?
I do.
Nice. Now,
Yeah.
so would you say that Chicago has the better pizza than New York? I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yes.
I've
I
had
guess.
Chicago pizza, it's pretty good. Awesome, awesome. So we have 12 amazing people. Hopefully, we could get more people here. And I just gonna start straight up and ask you, what's the very first 80s song you remember falling in love with? Inquiring minds want to know.
Falling in love with that's a hard question because you have memories of songs that you have like with your parents, and then you have like when you start listening by yourself and so on and so forth. But believe it or not, the one song that I kept playing over and over when I was finally able to do it myself, and just I had my own radio or cassette player or whatever. uh I loved Electric Avenue by Eddie Grant.
Oh, yes, Electric Avenue. Oh my God.
That when I was a kid over and over and over again.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. What did your parents listen to? I'm curious.
So my mom, to preface a few things, I was mainly raised by my grandparents,
Okay.
but I spent quite a few years with my mom, and she loved like Anne Murray and Air Supply, and but she grew up loving Ricky Nelson. So I heard a lot of Ricky Nelson, and she was a huge Elvis fan.
Mhm.
Uh, but then I had my grandparents, and so I would watch with them all the old Fred Astaire movies and Ginger Rogers, and
Oh,
I
wow.
really into that kind of stuff, the Gene Kellys and Donald O'Connors. So I had a really deep appreciation for that flair.
Oh, nice. Do you ever, and I know this question is not on the list, so sometimes I'll ask random questions that come up. Do you ever play anything outside of the 80s music? Like, do you go take back in time? Oh, okay.
My show is kind of like the 70s, mainly the 80s, on like the first few years of the 90s,
Okay.
of people that were born in the late 60s, early 70s. That's kind of what we're used to, what we grew up on. So that's what I try to do. And I also throw country in there from time to time.
Oh, nice. I don't think I've caught you. Like, do you have like a specific day? You know how Eric has the all skate on Saturday nights. Good morning. Do you have also a day where you play different music, a different genre?
So what I do is I have on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday nights. Well, Tuesday, Thursday during the day, and then Sunday nights, I have what I call the matinee mashup. But it's basically yacht rock and power ballads, the softer stuff. And sometimes I'll throw some country in there. But then my evening shows, the main core of the show is, mainly 80s stuff.
Yeah, super. So if you had a signature entrance song, what would that song be?
So is this the slow motion with the explosion going on in the background? Is that the kind of entrance we're talking about?
Um, you can make it whatever you, however you, I guess. Do you even have a slow motion with a big, I don't know. I've never seen you do that.
No, no, I don't have. Well, I kind
I
of
would
do.
love to see you do that. I know you take us on a cruise sometimes.
I'm a huge Van Halen fan.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Roth, Hagar, Sharon, but mainly I'm mainly a Hagar, Van Hagar kind of guy. My favorite album is 5150, and my favorite song is Why Can't This Be Love? And I love the build up beginning of that song. So if that would be my entrance song.
Sweet. Do they request that song a lot on your channel?
I get it from time to time. Yeah.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
Yeah. Just the
So
other
let's go back in time. Were you more of a cassette guy, vinyl, or boombox kind of kid?
I started off vinyl, but I quickly switched over to cassettes because I found out I could make my own playlist, my own type of thing, and I found out how to edit early on. And I was making my own mix kind of things very young. Very
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome. I remember having my first cassette player, like I think I was 8 years old, but and I used to record straight from the radio station, but I used to hate the fact that the DJ would always cut the song at the end. I'm like, oh, now the DJ messed up my song. But I struggle with that. But that's cool. Did you ever have a boombox?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Were you one of those that carried the boombox right there on your shoulder, walk around with you,
I look stupid, so I didn't do that.
and have the big hair too? I'm curious.
Oh yeah, I had.
I want to see pictures, Ed.
I would say some people have claimed that I had an award-winning mullet.
Oh wow, we gotta see pictures. Do you have any pictures of that on your Discord? Oh, I gotta check it out, guys.
On my main TikTok page of like throwback videos. Uh,
Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Now, I know it doesn't ask it here, but because obviously the purpose is also to promote you as much as I can. Do you only stream on TikTok or do you also stream on other channels, social media channels?
so, like Gen Xer, I have a Kick account, Kick,
Okay.
but I don't do the streaming there yet. I'm able to. I
Okay.
I haven't committed to that yet because that was kind of our backup if this platform went down.
Right. Sweet. And you have a really awesome following, so I am so glad to be a part of that community.
Oh,
So
I'm so proud of the family we built. It's just amazing.
it's amazing. How long have you been doing this?
So this June will be 3 years.
Wow.
Yep.
Years.
Yep.
Awesome.
My son came to me and said, "I'm enlisting in the Navy." And he's like, "Oh, okay." My oldest daughter had already moved out, so that was going to leave us just one, which is my 12-year-old.
Hmm.
And she tells me, she goes, "Well, I want his room." So she moved into the other room, and I took this and talked it over with my wife, and I told her what I wanted to do. And I built this entire studio specifically to do this.
That's awesome. So is it soundproof and everything? Like,
Proof, but there is a lot of sound deadening in here.
that's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah. And what was really neat is when I started, and I didn't do it to make money. I did it because I love doing it. It's one of my passions. And we decided that if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. Now, I had a lot of equipment, but as I slowly started to build, I took that income and I upgraded everything.
Nice. Now, is this your full-time thing, or do you do anything on the side?
It has become my full time job.
Wow. Do you DJ also for weddings, or is it just strictly here?
Never been a wedding DJ. I worked in radio back in the day.
Oh, okay.
I've never
Interesting.
done weddings. That was I've helped guys do weddings, that needed
Yeah.
extra help, and
Yeah.
um, but yeah.
Yeah, it would take up a lot of your weekend family time, I would say, Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about a little bit about the music and DJ life. What's the 180 song you could play on repeat all night, and the crowd would never get tired of it. Let's see how well you know your crowd. Thank you so much for the love you. I love you.
I couldn't pick just one because if I kept playing a song over and over and over again, the people would stop staying there.
Yeah.
So the requested songs I get the most are a lot of AC/DC. I
Oh,
used to get a
yes.
lot of Billy Joel. I don't get that much anymore. Uh,
Okay.
I get a lot of. I used to get more alternative stuff, but now that I have Gen Xer,
Right.
we all go to him.
Yeah.
So,
So
but
would you turn down? Oh, who gave you crabs?
yeah,
Miriam, are you spreading crabs already?
now I got a Krabby Patty.
Uh, so would you turn down a alternative song request?
What Gen Xer and I do is we normally will tell the person who requested, "Hey, listen, I'm going to pass this on to the other host."
Right.
We do, and we give it, to the other host because I'm on right after him, so he'll send me the
Yes.
request, and I try to get to him, and then I will send him the other stuff. And there's times where I will message him or he'll message me, "Hey, listen, this is kind of on the line. Do you mind if I play this?" Because we don't want to step on each other's
Yeah.
toes.
No, I love the way you guys work together and make it work. Amazing. If you could only DJ for 180s artist concert, living or past, who would it be?
That's an interesting question because I already said, be Van Halen, but uh, the I was talking with Gen Xer about this very topic the other day, and I said it would be Van Halen or Prince, and Gen Xer goes, "Yeah, he'd kick you off stage," and I just found that funny. I'm like, "Yeah, he's probably right."
I do hear that you do play a lot of Prince. I love it. Did you ever have a moment mid DJ set where someone requested something totally random that somehow it actually worked?
Yes. Um, I was in the middle of a set where there was a lot of rock music. This was about 2 years ago. And somebody came in and requested Dust in the Wind. And I'm like, why? We're in the middle of playing all this rock. Why am I going to play Dust in the Wind? But I also want to, keep everybody happy. And I said, okay, well, we're going to shoot this out here and see what it does. And everybody loved it. It was like, I didn't see that coming at all. Didn't see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, you have an amazing community of supporters. I think you could play anything. I think you could just get on there and sing yourself, and they will still support you, Ed.
One thing, Liz, that I told a few people this, and I told this to Gen Xer early on, was you can get the music anywhere. They're not coming for the music. That's the initial draw. But if they stay, it's because of the personality,
Absolutely.
the person behind the mic.
I believe that 1,000%. I mean, there are a couple of different rooms that do play the 80s music, but it's the vibe there. It's the entire your personality, the community there. Everyone's so welcoming. There's no drama. It's just an amazing, amazing. I'm telling you. Guys, I know that we have now 21 people. Please, guys, if you haven't already, make sure that you hit that follow button and check him out tonight. He goes right after Gen X alternative 80s music. So let's talk about nostalgia fun. Favorite cheesy 80s movie that you still secretly love?
That is so easy to answer. It's my biggest guilty pleasure. It's a horrible movie.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I love it. Tango in Cash.
Tango and Cash. Oh my God, yeah, I saw that movie.
That is so bad. The acting is just beyond horrid. And I love Sly.
Yeah.
Horrible at it, and I can't get enough of it.
Oh, that's too funny. Oh my goodness. Were you Team Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, or Space Invaders? Did you play a lot of video games as a kid?
I did. I was huge at the arcade. I loved going to the arcade. If I had to pick from those three, I would say Space Invaders.
Oh, Space Invaders. I think that's the three. That's the only one that I have not played. I used to play Pac-Man and Donkey Kong. Uh,
I loved Pac-Man when it came out, but I got sick of it pretty fast.
yeah, yeah. Did you have an Atari back then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is my grandfather bought me one of those generic, crappy video games that were coming out after Atari to try to say, oh, well, see, I got you a video game system. And it had blackjack and a crappy version of Pong.
Oh,
Kind of
oh,
bought it because he wanted to play blackjack.
oh, how funny. Oh my goodness. Pitfall. Some people are commenting here. Pitfall. What are you guys saying? Kong. I love Atari. Okay. Pac-Man. My dog. My dog. Just ignore my dog. Biggest 80s fashion crime you committed: neon, parachute pants, or mullets? I think you already answered the mullets. I'm curious about the neon and the parachute pants.
I had parachute pants.
You did have parachute. I gotta see these pictures, you know.
I don't think there's any pictures of me in the parachute pants, though. But I did have some.
Sweet. Oh my God. And I can't even picture you with a mullet. Oh my God. That would be so interesting to see.
I had a killer mullet. It was awesome.
And neon underoos. Gen X Alternative saying that you had neon. How would you know that?
Last week at a club he was at, so we don't ask questions.
What inspired you to bring the 80s music here to TikTok? I know you did mention it a couple of minutes ago, but like, when was that moment that you said, you know what, this is what I want to do, and wake up every day and do it over and over again?
So I've been very blessed in my life to have had basically two careers doing what I love. And when I worked in radio before, I was a huge fan of the morning DJ. The morning, the morning zoo guy, the shock jock guy, whoever that might be in your area. Everybody had one.
Yeah.
I was very blessed to actually become very good friends with the guy that was out here. And he was the number one DJ for 20 years out here. And when I worked on air, I had the weird shifts. And I wanted to do that morning zoo stuff, the goofy stuff. Sorry.
I'm good.
And when I said I had two careers, I also have worked for 18 years as a stuntman.
As a stuntman? Did I hear that correctly? Wow. Tell me a little bit about that. That came out of left field. Like, I definitely didn't know that about you.
Yes. So I had worked in radio and I had different jobs. And when I left radio, it wasn't because I couldn't get a job. It's just I couldn't get a job that paid well.
Yeah.
And so I left corporate radio and I got a job in the real world, as I call it, and made pretty good money. And I was missing my artistic outlet, shall we say. And I got a job, just a part-time job, working at a Western theme park here in Arizona. And I was just playing the sheriff, doing mock arrests, going around arresting people and saying, all right, come on, get in here, varmint, and, doing all the silly stuff. And across the way, they had the stunt team that was doing the live action gunfights and jumping off buildings and doing all that kind of stuff. And I was 33 years old at the time. 33.
Wow.
And I was sitting there going, man, I'm too old to do shit like that. Well, the next thing I know, they're asking me to come over and help because they were shorthanded. And I said, that's fine, but I ain't doing any stunts. So I went over there and I acted in their show. And I just popped the bug. And from that point on, I was jumping off buildings. I've done dozens of independent films. I've been in some bigger productions, but mainly background stuff. But yeah.
You said that, okay, so you became good friends with, so was he the only DJ doing the 80s?
A couple others, but all they would do And to each their own. My philosophy is you start with what you have.
Yeah.
I wanted to start, and I wanted to be professional from the get go. A lot of people will set up their phones and they'll play their music from like Lady A, or a Google device, and they're talking and it's all coming to their phone with no direct input, and that's fine. That's what you start with, and I have no problem with that. But I wanted to start right out of the gate having the best audio. You had to do it this way. So I figured out how to pump it all through my phone, which I did. And then I signed up for the beta version of TikTok Studio. I was within the first 500 people on TikTok to get TikTok Studio.
Really? Wow. Interesting. So TikTok Studio hasn't been around that long then, right? So about 3 years then?
About 2.5. Yeah, because I did it on my phone for the first 6 or 7 months, just like most people do it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you have a whole system. It's just amazing. The whole I don't even know how you do it, but it is fantastic. You feel like you're in there, it's just amazing the way everything is. So let me ask you, what is the funniest or wildest comment you've ever gotten during a live DJ set?
It was interesting because it went negative really fast.
Oh,
This guy came in and said, "You're not a real DJ. You're not really broadcasting." Because I have an on-air sign above my head and I've got one over here. You're not on air. But this guy was just relentless. And then he found me on the Book of Faces. And he started going after me there. And I mean, he was just relentless. And I couldn't believe he just was taking it. So I did a little research and found out this guy broadcast from a little tiny 5,000 watt radio station in Washington. And it's privately owned. I said, listen, I sent him a message. I said, listen, I don't want to get into this battle with you. Your opinion, that's fine. But why do you have to come in and start doing this to all my listeners? Because if I don't go back at you, most people are like, yeah, Ed's above that and everything. But you keep coming back. And you're changing accounts. And you're doing all this and doing that.
why did he put so much effort into doing that? Did he know you personally? I'm just curious.
No idea who the guy was.
Oh, wow.
So then he went after my friend Rock King Bobby D. Did the same thing. Wizard knows what I'm talking about. Richard just came in. He was around for all that. And I have a listener who is, I call him the digital warrior. His name is Ken Conson. And he goes after people who are bullying other people and so on and so forth. And he caught wind of it. And he does these deep dives. And Ken has a huge following. And he put him on blast on his page.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he disappeared after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that was the one and only time that you had that situation happen.
Well, I mean, I've had other situations happen. I mean, like lately, Gen Xer and I are getting reported for hate speech, and but we know where that's all coming from. But we're handling it. It's, you know what? The more success that you get, whether it's here or wherever it is, you're going to have people that are going to wish the worst for you.
Yeah.
That's just because that's how they deal with it, and that's fine. That's fine. I wish nothing but the best for them.
Yeah, I think it happens in every genre, any space, whatever the case is. And I guess, yeah, like somebody said here, something about the competition. Let's see. Sometimes the competition is jealous and a shady and tries to tear you down.
Yeah.
But you guys are stronger than that. I mean,
that's interesting because I wasn't this guy's competition. Yeah, JoJo River song, she was there for that too. And that's one thing when you come into my room, into my show. The number one rule I have is no politics.
right.
Zero politics.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're right, center, left. I just, it doesn't matter to me whatsoever.
Right.
And just don't put it out there. That's the one thing you will get immediately banned for. Now you can come into my room and your username can say, something very left or something very right, and I don't care. But don't talk about
Right.
it. And you get like one warning, and if you break that, you're gone.
Like Sandy says, we just want the good music. Absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome in, Bull. Nice to see you. We
Hi
got
everybody. I'm
almost
watching
30 people here. It's
coming.
amazing, guys. Thank you guys for the support here, for all of you here. It really means a lot. Now we got 31 people. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So if you could describe your TikTok vibe in one 80s phrase, like totally rad or gnarly, what would that be? I want to hear it.
I thought about that, and you know what? Totally tubular.
Totally tubular. Totally tubular. I'm writing
I
it down.
believe it or not, when I was a kid, I used that term a lot. I look back now, and go, "What the hell was I saying?" But
What,
it's
if you don't mind my asking, what year were you born?
72.
17. Oh, okay, I'm older than you by a couple years, but you're Gen X, so it's
Yeah.
all good. Welcome back, Sheila. Um, let's see, and so let's ask some quick rapid fire questions here. Prince or Michael Jackson?
Prince
Prince. Mixtape or playlist?
mixtape.
Mixtape. Leg warmers or leather jacket?
Oh, leather jacket. I had so many leather jackets in the day. Oh my god, still do.
Yeah. This was not on there, but did you ever do the moonwalk?
I can still do the moonwalk.
For real? No way. I gotta see you now. I gotta see you do the moonwalk.
I taught her how to do it. She'll show you. Nobody
He looks
wants.
good in leg. Gen X says that you look good in leg warmers, though.
Thanks for letting me use those too, Gen Xer. I appreciate that. It brings my eyes out.
That's funny. Oh my God. Ferris, Ferris Bueller or Marty McFly?
That's a tough one. But if I have to pick one, I'm picking Marty.
Okay, Marty McFly. Synth pop or hair metal?
So I'm gonna say hair metal because if I say synth pop, Gen X will say, "Well, that's alternative. That's alternative, and you can't have that."
Ah.
But I,
Wait,
I love them both. I love them both.
uh, 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 uh. And then, better 80s hairstyle, crimped hair or a mullet?
Crimped hair.
Crimped hair. For you, if you could time travel to any concert in the 80s, which one would it be? And who are you bringing with you?
Say that one more time.
If you could time travel
Uh huh.
to any concert in the 1980s, which one would it be? And who are you bringing with you?
That's a good question. Of course, everybody's going to say, "Oh, he's going to say Van Halen," but I've seen Van Halen several times. I want to go to a concert I never have been to. That's somebody I'd never seen. Okay, so if I could time travel back to a concert and take somebody with, the first one I would go to is Journey.
Journey.
Yes. And I would take my sister because my sister was a huge, massive fan of Journey, and she never got to see them. Now, if I was going back just for myself, I would go see Def Leppard.
Ooh, nice choice. Did you ever go see him in concert?
Def Leppard?
Yeah.
I have not. I've never seen Def Leppard in concert. Yeah, that's one of the ones that I still want to go see. I think they would still be amazing.
Yeah. Interesting. What's one song you think everyone should add to their feel good playlist right now?
and it's from the 80s.
It doesn't even say. So I'm curious. What's your favorite song? It doesn't have to even be the '80s. What song are you vibing with right now?
My favorite song is Van Halen, Why Can't This Be Love? I just love that song. It is my favorite song. It's my go-to song. Um, but if you are feeling down, here's my recommendation for any of you. If you don't even have to like the genre of music, but if you are feeling down, get in your vehicle and put on Eastbound and Down by Jerry Reed and drive. Because you will immediately feel better.
Sweet. Ruby's back. Welcome back, Ruby. If '80s slang made a comeback, which word or phrase would you personally bring back?
I would love to hear them start saying "gag me with a spoon" again.
Gag me with a spoon again.
Yeah.
Gag me with a spoon
I
again.
would love to hear the kids walk around going, "Oh, like, no way! Like, totally gag me with a spoon."
Imagine, imagine. I have friends who say that still. You have friends who say that still? That's Cajun. Oh my God, that's funny. That is too funny. Um, so talk about a little bit about what's going to be next for you. Like what are you, I guess your future plans, what's your vision with this, with your channel? I
So
guess, how do you see yourself in the next couple of years?
our big thing now is, of course, with Gen Xer Alternative 80s Live, me and Cody. But Gen Xer and I are steering the ship. Cody's on cruise control, and that's how we like him. He is just such an amazing, amazing human being. We don't want him to change anything. Just be him, do what you do. You're along for the ride. We
Yes.
we are building up the Forever Young Radio Network to, we now have the website, we have the merch. Um, I have my shows, the majority of my shows are actually on iTunes. You can
Oh,
listen to them,
wow.
but we want
Do
to
that.
all of our replays over to our website. There's we got to figure out the licensing issues with that.
Okay.
Um, we want to grow. Now we've had growing pains already. We've had several growing pains, and right now we are keeping the three hosts as the Forever Young Radio Network because the other people that we've tried to help and bring in, it just hasn't worked out. They were not the fit that we were looking for.
Right.
Right now, the meld between the three of us is really, really good.
Yeah.
Plus, out of the deal, and I didn't expect any of this. And I'm going to be honest with you, Liz, and I'm going to be honest with everybody. When I started doing this 3 years ago, I didn't want to do it with anybody. I wanted this just for me because every time I do anything in business or creative, I've got to have partners. And it's just the way it works out. And I did not want. This was just going to be me in my studio doing what I want.
Yeah.
And I had no desire to bring anybody in. And then I get this message from this guy. And he says, "Hey, I need your help." And I don't mind helping people. But in, 7 going on 8 short months, he's become one of my best friends I've ever had. And that's Gen Xer. We didn't talk this morning because I was busy and he's already given me crap because we didn't talk this morning. But we talk every morning. There's times where we'll have our phones just set up on FaceTime and we're working. We're not even talking. We're just kind of hanging out, working, doing stuff. And other times we'll talk for hours. And it was interesting because we both decided to build this because of the love of the music, not for the monetary value.
Right.
And the love of the people, the love of this community. My God, Liz, you won't believe the amount of messages that I get of how my show has helped people out of depression, like severe. And
Wow.
it's and different messages of hope and healing. I didn't start for that. I
Wow.
didn't. I started for because I wanted to have fun. I wanted to be positive and I wanted to bring that out to the world.
Yeah.
And Liz, it blows my mind. And these people, this family is so loyal and so incredible. I mean, like I said, Gen Xer and I, we were having issues with other creators, and every one of them will reach out and say, "What can I do to help? What can I do to help?" It's well, one, you don't have to do anything; just enjoy the show. But they're vested into this, which makes us more vested into what we're doing. Because now it's not a radio show; now it's becoming a lifestyle.
Yeah. Oh my God, you put it so beautiful. I totally agree with that. It really is. Like I said, it's hard to explain it convey in words, but it's a vibe. It's an experience because, like you said earlier, I could listen to. I don't even have to go into TikTok. I could literally just go into my iTunes and play all 80s music, but it's not the same. Never the same because it's just the whole package, the vibe.
And that's what I've helped several people start doing this. And I did it just because I wanted to, as I say in my show, share the love.
Yes.
Fast forward. I was able to create this and I did not expect it to do this. What it's taken on a life of its own. And again, I want to give back. I want to go back to giving props to the Rock King Bobby D because he's the one that I saw on TikTok that was doing the closest to what I wanted to do, and he helped me. He did he, and that's what I was trying to do was pay it forward. He didn't ask for anything back. He didn't want any kind of money for it or anything. He just said, "Yeah, I'll help you out," and he answered the questions, and we became good friends. He was in my show last night. Yeah. And so that's what I did with a couple of other people, and Gen Xer is one of them. And it's now I just have this group of this family, we call them the forever youngins or the forever younglings, and everybody seems to finding their own fit. And now some of the ladies have taken people from our community and they started in the Discord with the Sisterhood of the Traveling Limo, and that's taken on
Yeah,
a.
talk to me about that because I even like when they hashtag that. Can you tell me what that is? I don't. I joined the hashtag, but I'm like I don't even know what I'm hashtagging. What exactly does that mean?
Reach out to Rochelle.
Okay,
She
Rochelle's the one who. Okay,
going to try to explain it. It's taken
okay,
on a life of their own, of its own. I play around with it and have fun, but I don't dare dip my toes into that one. That's all.
okay. So Rochelle, let me write this down. Rochelle's the one who I need to ask then for that. Yeah, because I always see it. And I don't know. So I don't understand it. I see it that it's towards like the either the middle of the show, like it's not. So I'm like, okay, is it the timing of the show that they put? I don't know why they do it. Is it a certain song that they play that I just see the hashtags come at certain points, and I'm like, why is it happening? I don't know. But
They've created like an alternate uh, universe.
okay,
Or their show, their audience members, but then they've created this persona, and it just started off because I believe it was Shaman who started saying that that they had the movie The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants or whatever.
uh-huh.
He made a joke about it, and it just took on this life. You never know what's going to happen. And now
Wow.
there's dozens of people in the Discord adding to the story, and it just keeps building and building and building. And then one day I created a limo driver for them, and now they have a limo driver that comes on and makes announcements in my show. And I still don't. I can't keep up with it. I can't read all of it. I try to, but yes, Lamar. That's right, H.O. Brown girl. Lamar, the limo driver. But so there's that. My community helped out when I first started this, I had a very dear friend of mine who has been my friend since 1985. She was a very, very wonderful, dear person, and she passed away in February.
Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss.
And she had an 11-year-old son.
Wow.
And she had the only other family she had was a sister in Florida. So I took care of her at the end of her life and made sure that she was comfortable. And she had 4 different types of cancer.
Oh,
It was
wow.
and I told my audience, my family members here, of what was going on. And they started donating incredible amounts of money that I gave to her son.
Wow.
I didn't like really try to start a GoFundMe or anything like that.
Right.
It was just in the middle of the show we started talking about it, and she was the one of the few people that actually said, because I had a job offer on the table to actually be the general manager of the theme park that I worked at for 18 years, or do this. And she told me, don't do the theme park, do this. This is what you want to do. And she was big part of that. And so when she was a big part of the show when it first started. She was a TikTok person. She was a tarot card reader.
Oh, wow.
And she's the one that's like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how I do it. This is what this is what I'm making, this and that. And so when I first started, my very first show I did on TikTok had Donna and some friends of my friend Stacy. So there was I think I maxed out at 9 people, and I was killing it. I was like, yeah, 9 people, woohoo! And I still, to me, it's 2 or 200. I'm giving the same performance.
Yeah.
I'm putting it all out there.
Yeah. No, your room is
On my life.
booming.
So you do your tarot card readings, and the camera would be up here facing down at the cards.
Right.
And right on the card, she'd have my TikTok handle. Because she had 300,000 followers at one point.
Wow.
She helped me build it.
That's awesome. That is
She
awesome.
was an amazing person. And so my family came together for her and her son. Yeah.
Wow. Do you still keep in touch with the son?
Yeah. So actually, that turned out, so I'm actually his godfather. And he was going to come live with me and my wife.
Wow.
But my wife's mom lives with us now. She has glioblastoma, which is brain cancer. So we take care of her. And it was, okay, how are we going to do this? And I even considered dismantling all this. So, we'd have an extra room. And then out of the blue, her sister calls me and says, no, I'll take him. I want him. I'll raise him. We'll adopt him. So I took him to Florida to live with his aunt, which worked out because Gen Xer lived 30 minutes away. He came and picked me up, and then I spent the weekend with Gen Xer and the Queen of Awesome, and it was fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Didn't you was it a month ago or so you showed up by surprise, right? To Gen X.
I was going to be there, and I showed up on a Saturday all skate.
That was awesome. I saw that night. That was fantastic.
Welcome in, everybody. Wow, we got 45 people in here.
This is the most people that I've had. So thank you guys. I have to enjoy while I can. How long did it take you to get to this point? Because for me, I mean, I don't go live 7 days a week. I think you do, right? But and I only go live 2 hours a day. But it's been a struggle, for me to get to grow in the numbers and stuff. So it is a challenge. How long did you see that number climb? How long did it take? A year?
It was a slow process. For the first year and a half, I was maxing out at 20, 25 people. Every now and then I'd get a bump.
Yeah.
But it would stay right around there, and I was content with that. I had no problem with it whatsoever. Very happy with it.
Yeah.
And then I kind of turned it up a notch with the way that I was promoting and the way I was doing videos. And then I got people in there like JoJo Riversong. Made a video, and I had no idea who she was. She made a video promoting my show, and it pops up on my screen, right? I'm like, what the? Who's this? I'm like, this is great. So I duetted the video, right?
Smart.
And now I call her my sister from another mister. She actually came to Arizona with her husband and sat right here in this studio with me. We did a show together.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Have you ever taken the show on the road? Curious.
Not this particular show.
Okay.
I'm not built for going places right now. I can do it. I can very easily do it. But it's one of those things where I built it to do it here. Now, eventually, believe it or not, Gen Xer and I and Queen of Awesome, we really want to do an actual all skate where we rent out a skating rink or something like that.
Wow.
And come over, from all over.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. That would be epic if you guys do that. Absolutely epic for sure.
There's a group of people that are much bigger than us on TikTok, and it's called the Gen X Takeover. And one of the guys on there, the dad bod veteran, I got to know him before he became. He was in South Carolina, where my son was stationed at the time, and he was a Navy veteran, and we would talk. He'd go live, and I'd talk with him on chat. We'd have private messages, and then he just blew up, became huge. When they did the first Gen X takeover last year, I went to Nashville to go to it. Now, the dad bod veteran was very nice. The sad part was the other three were extremely rude. They were. It's like we forgot where they came from. And I was telling Gen Xer, I said, we need to do something like this, but do it right. Do it where if, the people, we can interact. Now, again, I want to preface by saying the dad bod veteran sat there and talked to me. He was very nice. And I invited him on the show. And he said, oh, I would love to be on your show. And he's never answered me since then. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not ripping on him. I mean, you get to a certain point and there's a lot of people around and there's a lot of attention coming at you. You can't just make time for that one. And I get that. I totally get it. But I learned a lesson from that because we want to start doing stuff like that eventually.
Yeah.
Gen Xer and the Queen of Awesome, they were event planners and created events like this. So I couldn't have asked for a better partner in doing something like this.
That would be that. Yeah, no, that would be amazing. I'm sure you. Oh my goodness, it would turn out to be amazing. I'm sure that everybody's going to be on that for sure. Me included, for sure. I wanted to ask you some final questions, but does anyone here have any questions for? I know you can't really say the website, but is it Forever Young Radio Network with the W's and the at the end? Okay, so it would be Forever Young Radio Network.
Right.
Okay, cool. And then is that also where people can find your merchandise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Like this right here.
I see that. So what type of merchandise you have? T-shirts. What else do you have? Do you have the koozies, or is that just Eric Gen X alternative? Oh, so you do have the koozies.
Yeah.
Cool.
And now, as of yesterday, we have toddler size stuff.
Toddler size stuff too. JoJo says the acronym question mark. Is it the acronym of the website, or is it the full? I don't know if that's what you're asking. The full name, right? Okay.
Whatever Radio Network did do.
Okay, gotcha. So you have toddler stuff too with your logo. Sweet. We gotta start them young, like in the '80s music, right?
Exactly. My niece comes in. My oldest niece, she comes into the show almost every night. and she's 32 now. And when she was little, that's all I would let her listen to was 80s music. And I was around her quite a bit. And now that's all she could. I don't listen to anything else.
So Laura Joe was saying my grand girl needs some merch for sure. So
Yeah,
go to,
just go to that website.
yeah.
And yeah, matter of fact, Gen Xer sent me a picture of him holding up one of the toddler T-shirts last night. I showed it on the show, so
That's awesome. My daughter, she's 18. She listens to 80s music. Isn't that incredible? Not for anything, but today's music, there's just not much out there to pick, really.
there's some stuff that comes out that it's not bad. And I try not to be judgmental, but it's basically what you prefer, what you like, what your tastes are. What are my thoughts on mumble rap?
Mumble rap. Yeah, what are your thoughts on mumble rap?
I don't listen to it. Just it's not my thing. That's not my thing.
No mumble rap.
A lot of rap music that I like, I really enjoy. But this stuff where they're talking so fast you can't understand what they're saying, and they're sampling so much '80s music. That's kind of what sucks. Yes, hey, I know this song. Oh no, crappy song.
Do you ever play rap? I don't think I've ever heard you play rap.
Yeah, but
You
it's '80s
do?
rap. Like Rubber
Oh.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, this is interesting to know. Now I know that I could request rap. I had no idea. Thank you so much, Shanna.
I won't play Coolio because he's not in the genre in the time frame. But I like Coolio. Jen's right. I played OPP.
Oh, baby, that's right. You did. You did. Wait, I can't remember. You did play it, right?
The Beastie Boys.
Oh, yes, you did. And just keep on what you're doing.
And
Absolutely.
Gen Xer didn't think I would play OPP. Like, why wouldn't I play that? That's a great song.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that probably you can't play any. You can't play any explicit songs, right? So you would have to get the clean.
I can get away with it.
Oh, you can.
I try not to.
Right.
I try not to even curse that much on my show.
Right. Right.
Um, I try to keep it PG-13. Sometimes I dabble in rated R with stuff, but there's a lot of listeners that will listen to my show and their kids are running around, And I'm not one of those guys that, well, then you shouldn't have my show playing with your kids around. No, if you want to have your kids around, just know I may every now and then say shit, hell, or damn. Just but I'm not. I don't think I've ever dropped an F-bomb on my show.
Yeah. I mean, and if you do, you're human too. I mean, it happens, right? Let's see. A comment. Ed, glad you're doing. Wait, I missed it. Glad you're doing you.
Oh,
It's infectious. Keep it up.
Miriam. Okay, this is interesting. Miriam, is there any song or artist you absolutely detest or won't play? You know what? I'm going to let my listeners that are in here answer that question. What is the one song I will not play on my show that I cannot stand? Come on. Let's see who can say it. There it is.
You don't like Love Shack? What is it? You and Ruby are like Ruby hates that song. Like,
and it's not that it's a bad song. It's not that it's something that is horribly made. It's actually a good song.
so I'm curious because I don't like. Because when Ruby, the first time I heard about like Ruby does not like that song. I can't stand that song. Yeah, I was trying to figure out why. I still don't understand why. What is it that I'm missing that I don't know why? I mean,
the deal with Love Shack is when I first started in radio was the late 80s or early 90s. What came out in late 89 and just played over and over.
oh, okay. So you got so sick of it.
Oh my God. And just the first few notes of it, I went, blah, blah. I just don't want anything to do with it. It was about maybe not quite a year ago. I was getting a bunch of crap from from the family, from my listeners, and I just played it. Here you go. I'll play it. And again, I love the B-52s, and it's not a bad song. It's just I'm so sick of it. Also, one of my favorite artists in the entire world, as we've established here, is Prince. I cannot stand When Doves Cry.
Wait, somebody said here, what is it? Is it Brown Girl or HL Brown Girl says, I know what I'm requesting tonight. I don't know if she's gonna be requesting Love Shack.
You're in the face, darling. It ain't getting played. Gen Extra will play it for you all day long.
Oh, that's too funny. Look at that. I thought it was a Ruby thing because Ruby had said, I don't like that song. Don't play that song. Um, but I guess
Ruby,
it's
you don't have
a
to worry about it. It's not going to be played in my show. I will not play Love Shack.
oh, Ruby. So there you go. You could go to Ed's. He won't play Love Shack for you.
And again, the other song that I don't like at all, and it's from one of my favorite artists, and that's When Doves Cry. I don't like When Doves Cry.
Really?
Yeah. And it's one of those songs that was just played in such repetition. I got so sick of it. Now it's just stop. Just stop.
Yeah. They played it out. They did play it out. I think that, yeah, when I think of I mean, not that that's the first song I think about, but obviously that is one of the songs that really stands out. When Doves Cry.
Hey, Gen Xer, we're talking about me. We're not talking about you right now. So just,
Get
You
him,
had,
get him, Ed, get him, Ed.
had your interview with Liz. This is my turn. And if you
Get
want
him. Because he always is making fun of the Paco Rabanne. I don't know if you know the story behind the Paco Rabanne.
the what?
The Paco Rabanne. I said it in Spanish, Paco Rabanne.
Oh, I have no idea. But if you want to request a song in Gen Xer's room, request Tarzan Boy. He loves that song.
I'm gonna get you. I cringe when I'm watching a live drummer and they keep getting the request for in air. Hold on a second. In the air tonight.
So I have my drumsticks for when they request in the air tonight. And that's become a bit. I mean, and I get it. It gets requested every night, and I do not play it every night. There are songs that get over requested on my show, on Gen Xer's show, and I think that it's not that we don't want to play it. It's just I don't want certain songs to turn into a Love Shack. You know, when I do my matinee mashup, which is the yacht rock stuff. In the beginning, it was the same songs getting requested. Now, when I started taking requests, I didn't have a request line. And as far as I know, I was the first one to actually have a request line on TikTok. I never saw anybody do it.
Yeah, no, that is cool. How did you even come up with the idea?
Why don't I get a Google number and put it up there? And it
Oh,
works.
that's sweet. No, that's sweet. I love it.
Call down. I'd get my little pad of paper and I'd say in the second hour, okay, everybody give me your request. And I'd play like a 6-minute song so I could write down all the requests.
Yeah.
At one point, my wife would come in here and she would write down all the requests. And it got to the point where I had so many requests, I was only getting half of them.
Wow.
Now my show is basically the first 3 songs are I pick them, set the mood for the show. Then I play request until the top of the next hour. Then I have my mystery boxes.
Right.
Just basically, I go through a file and all these songs are numbered.
Talk to me about the mystery box. I'm glad that you brought it up because that obviously wasn't a chat GPT question. And I really want to know about it because you talk about mystery boxes, but I'm too afraid to ask what that means and what it is.
4 of them. And I've got it down to just 3 per show now.
Okay. Mystery box.
I have a file with all with thousands of songs.
Okay.
Numbered. The title doesn't show up unless I open it up.
Okay.
I have a program that I can take and I can add that file to it, and all it shows is a number. Now I have it broken down into genres. There's
Okay.
rock, yacht rock, there's rap, there's country, but I have no idea what the song is.
Okay.
Well, I'll pick three random files. I'll transfer them over, and I won't look at them. And then I let the listeners decide what order to play them,
Interesting. Okay.
A, B, or C, and we all find out together.
That is so cool. Now I know because I was like, how do you get into the mystery boxes? I didn't really know the whole thing, but that's good that you point that out. And Elizabeth, I know that you asked, I didn't see the interview with Gen Xer. Is there somewhere I can watch it? Yes, on my YouTube. It's already on there posted, and the link is in my bio for my YouTube channel. The whole entire interview is there. I think I edited just a couple of things, but it's for the most part it is there. Wow, I got 22 messages. Let me see what other questions there here. And I'm gonna skip over Gen X alternatives because I don't want to read the whole Paco Rabanne thing. Ask him about. Okay, so Jen says, ask him about Bonnie Tyler, Eclipse of the Heart.
That has taken on a life of its own. I did it once, and I think it was because I think I was trying to cheer up JoJo River Song. I think she had a bad day, and I think I did it, and I do a whole comedy bit lip syncing. Well, I don't lip sync. I'm actually singing Total Eclipse of the Heart, but I sing the backup stuff. But I do it with my voice changer, and they get a kick out of it, and I don't do it all the time. It's very rare when I do it.
Oh man, I haven't witnessed that yet.
Yeah.
I haven't witnessed that yet. Oh my God.
That's a long version of the song, so it's like 7 minutes long.
Oh yeah, that.
But real quick on 1980 something. So the name of my show and the origin of it started off just as 1980 something. It was a podcast.
Oh.
And I started it in 2010. So 15 years ago. And what it was is I would play one or two songs, but it was all talk. I've had a different variation of co-hosts through the years. One of my dear friends, his name is Craig Heiss, and he grew up in Rhode Island, and he became a radio disc jockey, and he was all over the place. And him and I got together, and he was one of my co-hosts for quite a while. That's how I got Donna. Donna's been with me since 2011. She has followed me wherever I've gone, whatever state, whatever I've been doing.
Wow.
And the show had several different faces on it throughout the years. My biggest show, believe it or not, was the day Prince died. I went on and I did a Prince tribute, and so it was a podcast, but it live broadcasted on a network called Star Worldwide Networks. And that one show, I had over almost 1 million live listeners on that show.
Wow.
Huge, because then my podcast just exploded. And I did it on and off for years, the 1980 something show. And I had a friend of mine who was he believe it or not, he was a chiropractor, and he became my co-host for a while, and he knew everybody. And we decided he was very good friends with Corey Feldman. And we interviewed him. And Corey was a sweet guy. He was a little out there, but he was a sweet guy. And my co-host at the time got upset with me because I didn't record the video. And I said, well, at the time we weren't a video show. We were just audio. We did a Zoom call for the interview. And he kind of was like, well, I'm done. He kind of walked away. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm sorry, but okay. So that's when I was transitioning into this. And that's another reason why I said earlier, I never wanted any partners in this. I really was dead set against it.
Yeah.
And Gen Xer will attest, it almost ended up back that way not too long ago. Not because of him at all. But we had some issues with some other people, and I almost just went, I'm out. But if it wasn't for Gen Xer being the beautiful human being that he is, we give each other a lot of crap. We do. We give each other a hard time all the time.
That's awesome. I am so happy to hear that. It's really hard to find someone that, you first of all, different personalities, different characters, right? And to jive together and get along. Partnerships are difficult in any type of business, I know. So it's awesome that you guys really are get along, and more than get along. You guys, like you said, he's like your brother from another mother, right? So that's amazing.
He did something for me early on. When a lot of the crap was going down, him and I butted heads hard. And he came to me and said, "Listen, I need to tell you how my brain works." Because I didn't understand what ADHD was. I didn't understand how it worked. And he took the time and he explained it to me. And it's like my eyes went. Not to say that we still don't butt heads every now and then, but now I know and he knows. And we talk it out. And it's great. It's absolutely fantastic. There was one night, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing. There was one night I was so mad, I was ready to throw my phone across the room, and I was live on the air. I was so angry with him. I was so mad. And then that was the next day. He goes, "I got to tell you how my brain works." And it was like a bell went off. And it's so interesting to have somebody that you can be in business with, but also be so creative with. Also give each other such a hard time and know that we don't really mean it. Our listeners know we don't really mean it.
Yeah.
They know we love each other, and there's nothing we wouldn't do for each other.
Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Occasions, inquiring minds want to know. Now you've touched on the topic, LOL.
What's that?
I don't know. I guess the topic of you and Gen X. Love that so much. I know I drive Ruby crazy sometimes too. I'm also a hyperactive, and I believe I haven't been diagnosed, but I do think that I have ADHD. And so I can drive people a little cuckoo sometimes too with my.
My 12-year-old daughter was just diagnosed with ADHD. My first call was to Gen Xer and the Queen of Awesome. And they've been invaluable in helping me personally understand how she sees things and how she perceives of what's happening. And I think that when the Queen of Awesome ends up she's going to be doing her shows. And I think it's going to be amazing to watch how she puts it in there.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome! I didn't know that she's gonna also be doing her own shows too. That is sweet.
When she's ready. I don't know when the time frame is or anything like that. But I do know that Gen Xer built her a studio.
Nice, nice. I want to get her here too for an interview. Hint, hint, Mr. Eric. Hopefully, I don't know if she's here. I don't think I've seen her today. Queen of Awesome.
But she
Uh,
just amazing people. And when things went down at the very early stages of the Forever Young radio network that were not conducive with a budding relationship, they were there. They were the ones that stood their ground and said, "No, this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to happen because this is how these people operate, this and that." And we just all kind of linked arms, and that was how we got through it all.
that's awesome. I think somebody had a question here. Let me see. Somebody said that would be awesome. I would love to meet and learn more about her. Definitely, I would love to. I would have to talk to Eric about that. And then Alicia says, Ed, when you use the drumsticks in that one song, did you used to be a drummer?
Do you think I used to be a drummer? That's the real question. No, I was never a professional drummer. No, I know how to. I have played the drums, but it's all been very amateur. I play one instrument very well. I play one instrument and that is it. I have tried to take guitar lessons. I've took piano lessons. I took violin. I took clarinet. I played the drums for a very short time. There's only one instrument that I play and I love to play and I can play it to this day, and that's the harmonica.
Oh, I was gonna try to guess the harmonica. Interesting. Do you have the harmonica there with you?
No.
I was gonna.
I have actually. I have very nice harmonicas. I've got them in different chords and so forth, and I know where they're at, and I got to dig them out. One of these days, I will play the harmonica for everybody.
Dandy says you got to play for us. Oh my goodness, that would be amazing. I mean, your shows are so. I just love it because I love every day is just different. The vibe is amazing. I love when you do the cruise ship. Like I feel like I'm actually on a cruise ship, even though you're not necessarily playing cruise ship music per se, which is good because cruise ship music is kind of corny sometimes.
It's about escapism, and
Yeah.
the reason I do that show because it's so much different than my main show
Uh huh.
is number one. Uh, Everybody has that one artist, especially if you're very into music, but they have that one artist that just consumed them. Mine didn't come along until I was in my early 20s. And I discovered this art. I mean, I knew who the artist was, but I didn't know their range and their songwriting capabilities and everything. And this particular artist became like my John Lennon because their songs spoke to me. Their songs were incredibly powerful to me about escapism. And when people find out about this, they're like, really? I go listen to more than just the 4 songs they had that were popular. And it was Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett is an amazing poet, an amazing songwriter. And there are times where I will play, especially on the afternoon shows, I'll play random songs from Jimmy that 99% of the people have never heard.
Wow.
Now they request those songs.
Interesting. Interesting. Let's see. I think. So Rush After Dark says, "Oh, come on, opening to Piano Man, please." The Kicking Rambling Man says, "It gets me through the day."
He's
Uh,
talking about a specific song called Breathe In, Breathe Out, Move On that Jimmy recorded a few years ago. Beautiful song about getting through the hard times.
I need that too. Nice. Jamming with Jeff is in the house. Welcome in. So is Cecil. We have a lot of different people from Ruby's crowd. We got obviously from Ed and Eric's crowd. So thank you guys for being here. That was a harmonica request for Ed, a piano man. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think he's purposely ignoring that because
I didn't see it until I just see that now. I can do the opening to Piano Man, yes.
okay. I absolutely love Ed. Show it lifts me up when I'm having a bad day. I agree with you as well, Alicia. I totally agree.
Thank you so
Both
much.
rooms are amazing. So I do want to say, I mean, is there anything that I missed? Because I do want everyone here. I think everyone here already follows you, but in the event that you don't, I want you to, like they say, shameless plug. Just tell me, tell them what days, times, everything, how they can find you, what's the best way to find you.
So Monday through Sunday at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do 2 shows, and that is at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. Now, the Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday evening shows are what we call taking a cruise through the softer side of the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Right. I could play, so I could request the Bee Gees, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, I love the Bee Gees.
Nice.
Very
Okay.
good.
I was
Very,
afraid to ask you that, but I'm like, okay, I'm glad to know that you do like them.
Barry Gibb was one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
Sweet.
Yes, he is a superhuman being.
Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. All right, so let me see if I got this right. So you are on all 7 days of the week. However, Tuesdays, you do two shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? You said?
Yep. I'm
Okay.
usually not on Saturdays, but I am actually covering for Gen Xer this Saturday because he has a prior obligation. So I'm not running Saturday detention. So I've he said no, you can't do Saturday detention. I'm not going to do Saturday detention. I
Okay.
couldn't I couldn't do what he does on Saturday detention, but I'm going to take his time slot, and we're all going to go out to under the bleachers, and we're gonna get rowdy for my version of what Saturday detention. Yes,
Cool. So, and it's going to be the same time. For me, it's going to be 10 a.m., which is what is it, 12?
7 a.m. my time. So yeah, 10 a.m. your time.
10 a.m. Okay, cool. And then are you going to have the night show too, the roller skate at night?
I think he's planning on being back for the All Skate.
Because I do have to have my freestyle. That's the only night that I get to hear freestyle because I I can't ask for freestyle in your room, and then the only time is Saturday night. So I do wait for that night. It's special for me.
As far as I know right now, he's planning on being back for Saturday All Skate. And
Awesome.
you know what, that night that I was there in his studio, we did that. We had so much fun.
It
So
was That was awesome. That was awesome to see you guys. That was a nice surprise. He was, and the fact that he was not even expecting it made it even better. So,
that was a lot of fun.
so with that said, guys, I guess it's a wrap.
Okay.
Definitely. So if you give me the green light, I will take the opportunity just to edit. Obviously, the dog's barking in the background, so I apologize for that, Ed. So
Oh, feel
trust
free.
me, the people that know me the most know how nervous I was about this interview because I feel like I said, I'm not even joking when I tell you I felt like I'm interviewing a celebrity here. So I wanted it to be perfect. I bought a ring light. Like I have a you are the first one to see my ring light. You have no idea.
Oh,
I just feel honored that you spent, almost 2 hours with me chatting. It's an honor for me. I feel really honored.
honors
And
all mine.
so Elizabeth and anyone else, um, I will be downloading. I have about a couple of them that I have to post on there that I already edited. So Ed, I'll try to do that one. What's today? Wednesday, right? So I'll try to get that one up there as soon as possible. There's going to be a couple of edits, obviously because of the dogs. But if you do want to see Gen X Alternative, he is, and Rush Fan actually. Those are on there. So go check out my tube. There, I don't know if I could say here. I think the name is the same. I think it's Coffee Talk and Money Matters. If you want to search me there.
On the YT.
On the YT. Sorry, on the YT. So
Uh,
with that said, guys, make sure that you give him a follow. Please check him out. He's going to be on tonight. So it's back to back, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is Gen X Alternative 80s live, followed by 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with 1980 something live. Love it. I got it. Have a wonderful, thank you so much. And I will see you guys tonight.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Bye now.
Thank you.